Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah.
A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to HJN and the legacy of supers. And you know what? Now's the time for me to go on ahead and touch on into the supervillain that could pretty much trump everybody else, even more so than Thanos. Yeah, you know what? I might actually be here for even longer than when I talked about Thanos or some of the others that I've already touched up on. Because what are we talking about today? If the title hasn't already made it clear, then well, Detective Comics and the Batman series. The arch nemesis of them all, the Clown Prince of Crime, the Giant Red Smile, the Joker. Yeah, you know what? It is time for me to dive on into that part of the Batman series. Probably one of the greatest things to have ever happened in a superhero franchise. A Clown Prince of Crime. Practically the inspiration for a handful of other clown-related things out there. I mean, we could pretty much tell the inspiration to some things out there like Stephen King's It, or many other things here and there. But the Joker is more than just that. As it turns out, if you look as far into lore as possible in the Batman franchise, then you could tell that Joker is just one of those types. It's not just any supervillain. Joker is in fact the ultimate when it comes to powers, when it comes to abilities, when it comes to weapons and skills, and absolutely incredible feats here and there. This is in fact a die-hard villain, a topic of any sorts. And I'm glad that I'm going ahead and talking about this because you know what? Now is the time. So you know what? Let's just go ahead and start all the way back from where Joker supposedly first originated. There were multiple timelines, multiple continuities, some retcons here and there. So you know what? I'm going to be focusing on the main one. And I'm not really going to be talking about the Arthur Fleck timeline because that's a whole nother story. But you know what? To be fair, Joker from 2019 was probably one of the greatest things that ever happened. But on to the actual origin story of the Joker. Pretty much the one that everybody knows already. And if you don't, then well, let me pinpoint it out for you. Basically, a guy named Jack, who was pretty much a mob enforcer, ends up going into Axis Chemicals at one point, according to most lore that I could find. And eventually, after a certain encounter with the Batman, ends up accidentally falling into a vat of chemicals, supposedly dying in the process. Or not. Because what happens afterwards is that supposedly Jack survives the extreme amounts of trauma that the chemicals pretty much pull off physically and mentally. Of course, they were altered forever due to extreme chemical reactions that happened within the body and outside the body. But of course, most sources would in fact confirm that Joker's appearance was a lot different now, having very pale-ish sort of skin, as well as a smile. I look like this. Yeah, be silly, Billy. Yeah, okay. Well, anyways, the Joker, of course, was born right then and there. And that is, in fact, one of the official origin stories that seems to get remade every now and then. Of course, because of the 2019 Joker, we pretty much have a new horizon, a new paradigm shift that we're pretty much going ahead and approaching. But I'm simply throwing caution to the wind here, because most lore simply dictates that the main origin of the Joker pretty much leads back to most continuities and timelines. Sometimes they've been retconned here and there, but you know what? It is what it is. And Joker's abilities here and there are just incredible. It seems that Joker has a good amount of strength and speed and agility, so that pretty much just rivals Batman's combat skills. Years of training with the League of Assassins apparently has nothing on the Joker's combat tactics and abilities. I mean, that is amazing. There's not too many Batman villains out there that pretty much go fist to fist with each other like that. But the Joker pretty much just makes them all look like sissies, whatever. But nonetheless, the kind of weapons that Joker has, including razor playing cards, a gag flower full of acid, which a lot of people know about, as well as an electric hand buzzer, which most people probably know about. It's one of those type where you grab onto when you're grabbing hold of someone's hand and shaking it, and it zaps you. But the Joker's goes way too far right there. As a matter of fact, it sends so much electricity through someone's body upon contact that it fries them. Literally. It's worse than 3rd or 4th degree burns. It's one of those that just causes self-combustion within the body. That's incredible. But other than that, Joker has a handful of other weapons here and there, including chattering teeth bombs, a gigantic gun with a really long barrel, which is very similar to that of, well, some of those other really long barreled guns out there from other franchises. But I will say for sure that other than everything that I've already mentioned about weapons itself, the list can go on and on and on. So I feel like I might as well just skip to some of the other things that Joker has done. There's a pretty big amount of abilities and feats that Joker has accomplished throughout a life of crime. At one point, Joker actually infiltrated the Pentagon, as well as broken the minds of some of the greatest known villains and heroes that we've had. Joker has also managed to take out Superman. That's right. At one point, Joker actually defeats Superman, the Man of Steel, a bulletproof person, someone who could leap over skyscrapers and push things like it's no one's business. But no, the Joker makes it all look like a joke. It just takes out Superman with just the fists. That's incredible. That's one of the greatest things I might have ever witnessed in the DC universe. Superman being beaten to death by Joker's fists. Wow. I don't know where to go from here at this point. Do you know what though? Like I've said, I might be here a little while longer. So I might as well just skip most of this other stuff here and just simply jump over to some of the other things that Joker has done. Because of course, the Joker has actually managed to outsmart the Batman and also even capture the Batman. If that's not crazy enough, Joker, of course, was one of those types that didn't really know Bruce Wayne so well. Although I will point out the fact that, well, in the '89 Batman film, supposedly the Joker would shot Bruce Wayne down to death. Yeah, poor Michael Keaton got hit in the chest by one of Jack Nicholson's bullets. But of course, due to a metal tray, that was apparently enough to stop the bullets from killing Wayne. Now that was pretty awesome already. Then of course there are the list of different ways that Joker has actually died. Joker falls from too great of a height in the Batman film from 1989. Joker has died from some poisons relating to the chemical Titan in the Arkham series of video games. Joker has also been stabbed, bitten to death by a vampire, as well as suffered from the infamous Superman high five, which is just a... yeah. Superman's high five move, which is pretty much just an executioner style, like beat through the chest, pretty much. It's just one of those types of things that Joker had unfortunately died from. Joker was able to take out Superman with just bare fists, But apparently, one of Superman's high five moves was enough to kill the Joker. I guess that makes for equal numbers here and there. But yet again, I will say that the amount of feats, abilities, weapons, and everything else that Joker has accomplished, that's more than enough to make Joker the official arch nemesis of the Batman universe, but also one of the greatest known supervillains of all time. Thanos pretty much has nothing on the Joker. Thanos, of course, managed to give us more than billions of dollars in the box office due to the Avengers Infinity Saga becoming so incredibly amazing. But the Joker, of course, has given us some ways here and there to really up the scale. But going back to the 2019 film one more time, Arthur Fleck's story of the Joker, it's a whole different story. I mean, it might have been a newer idea or concept that many of the producers, directors, and the like have actually put together. But I will say that, well, to be fair, the Joker did have to start from somewhere. And Arthur Fleck's insanity, combined with a series of murders that were supposedly done by a clown, I suppose that it works. But you know what? Only time will tell whether or not we are in fact going to be having some more stuff to talk about when the Joker actually gets a sequel or something, based on the Arthur Fleck timeline, and not so much of the Jack timeline, pretty much. This is kind of like a retcon of a lifetime. But you know what? If the Joker film from last year could make more than $1 billion and also set a record making $93.5 million on the opening weekend, that's pretty much a new record alone. But you know what? Only time will tell whether or not we will actually have some new stuff out there to get to know about. So you know what? It's pretty much where I draw on the line right here. The Joker is the Clown Prince of Crime and also one of the greatest things I might have ever had the irony of talking about here on HJN. So you know what? That's it here. But if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.